I'm here with John Elder. John is one of our key people with our special events department, and he's going to be talking about all the things that are going to be happening right here in Gatlinburg. John, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Mike.
Tell us about your special events department and what's happening in the near future for Gatlinburg.
Well, I got to tell you, of course, it's going to be very exciting 2007 for Gatlinburg. First of all, it's our bicentennial year.
Right.
So we have quite a few events already planned. Now, this is not just from the special events department. This has been put together, the bicentennial committee. It's composed of citizens, representatives from the Gateway Foundation, also from the Anna Porter Library, and just regular citizens have been working on the celebration for almost a year before the year even started.
Just like we're 200 years old this year.
Yes.
It's hard to believe it.
It is, yeah. I don't feel a day over day.
So what are some of the events coming up?
Well, coming up at the end of March is probably one of the bigger, most neat events of it. For several years now, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is also a partner in the bicentennial celebration,
right,
has sponsored a program called Music of the Mountains. And they'll use their auditorium at the Sherlands headquarters, and they'll have 3 weekends consecutively of Appalachian type music programs. Well, it only seats about 160 people. And so it's been very limited in the past years, but this year they want to do something special for the bicentennial. So in cooperation with the city and the Department of Tourism, we're going to do a large concert to kick off Music of the Mountains this year. On March 30th, we're going to have Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys.
You're kidding.
Which of course, Ralph Stanley is one of the last living legends of bluegrass.
Yeah.
You know, he's right up there with Bill Monroe,
sure,
and Flatt and Scruggs, and you know, it's a wonderful opportunity to have him performing here in Gatlinburg and as part of our bicentennial.
Oh, that's great.
The concert is free, by the way.
You're kidding.
And unfortunately, all the spots have already been taken. We have 1,800 seats, and they went in about a week. It was by reservations, of course, but he's going to be here on March 30th, and I think it's going to be a great event, a great way to kind of kick off the bicentennial and let everybody know what's going on with that. And we're serious about this.
Type of music we need here in Gatlinburg.
Absolutely, yes.
Neat.
So it'll be a wonderful night. Other associations have gotten into the bicentennial also. The Smoky Mountain Bed and Breakfast Association is sponsoring an event called the Historic Inns Progressive Lunch. On April 14th, 3 of the bed and breakfasts that are in Gatlinburg are going to have a progressive lunch. There's only 40 spots available, but you'll go from each bed and breakfast and have a sample of their cuisine that they're known for. You'll get a tour of the inn, and also you'll have stories about how it was founded and where it was from and the people who have stayed there. And it'll be almost a whole day event. It'll start about mid-morning and go all the way through late afternoon. So that will be a great little event. And that's another example of how these other associations have gotten into the spirit of the bicentennial.
Sure.
Now, the Rotary Club also is sponsoring the Bicentennial Bear Project. There's these concrete bears that artists are buying for $100, and they decorate it how they want to. They can paint it, they can put other things on it, they can do whatever they want. And then they donate it to the Rotary Club. And the Rotary Club at their annual auction will auction off these bears for money that goes into their civic projects. So then the idea is also that these bears will be taken and bought by businesses and then put around town so they're small enough to where they can be close to a doorway or inside a shop or close to the sidewalk, so that throughout the city you'd be able to see these bears. And of course, there are going to be different ways. You know, there are going to be probably psychedelic bears, and there's going to be just regular bears, conservative bears. You know, so we're very excited about that. I think that's going to be a good project.
That's great. The number one thing that people, our guests, want to see when they come to Gatlinburg is a black bear.
Is a black bear, exactly. So we're just capitalizing off of what our visitors want to see.
Absolutely. What else we got, John?
We got to see the Cliff Dwellers. Of course, they've been a staple of our community for many years. So we're yearly, they have several gallery gatherings, and we're publicizing that as part of the bicentennial. Of course, you go to the Cliff Dwellers out in the Glades community, and you're going to see the type of crafts that made Gatlinburg great. You're going to see weaving, you're going to see pottery making, you're going to see quilting, you're going to see watercolors, you're going to see the whole thing. So throughout the year, there's several gallery gatherings that will be happening at the Cliff Dwellers. It will be part of the Bicentennial Project. Also, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is doing an interpretive hike, an interpretive walk of 1 hour with a rain ranger that will concentrate. It's actually called Mountain Communities, Fighting Creek, Forks of the River, and the Sugarlands. And this is part of the bicentennial also. It's going to be offered on Wednesday mornings in May and April, or April and May.
Wow.
And so you're going to get a ranger, and he's going to talk about the early communities that were, of course, part of the heritage of our area. But then whenever the national park was established, was absorbed by the national park. So they get to see some part of what Gatlinburg would have been or was at one point, and then the park came. So,
neat.
I mean, it's like I was saying, the involvement from the other associations, the other entities out there has been great for the Gatlinburg Bicentennial. It really has.
It'll make this whole thing possible.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, of course, our regular events will be going on as usual.
Right.
And in April, our kickoff event for spring, really, is our Rib Fest and Wings.
Now you're talking.
Yes. This is Gatlinburg's 6th annual Rib Fest and Wings. And, of course, a lot of people are very familiar. We'll have about a dozen vendors there that are restaurants. We have the fire department, the police department competing against each other for a $10 armband. You get to sample ribs till they run out, or wings, from all the different vendors. And we have free entertainment that goes along with it too. And this year, really, really excited. It's where our entertainment is going to be the Marshall Tucker Band.
You're kidding me.
No, it's the
Marshall Tucker Band?
The Marshall Tucker Band.
Oh,
yes. Man. So they're going to be our feature entertainment there. They're going to be performing live right in the middle of downtown Gatlinburg. And I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, John, that's
great.
great.
People will be coming out all over the place. A lot of people so identify with it. I think the Marshall Tucker Band, the people who know the music, who understand, even people who don't know the music.
Oh, I grew up with that.
Right,
so,
exactly.
That's some of that's you just hear classics, and some of their music is some of the best.
That's right.
And just think of people like just from ear to ear with rib and wing sauce, Marshall Tucker Band. I mean, it can't get any better.
Absolutely, yeah. And people, for the younger generation, if you say their name, they might not know exactly who it is. They've kind of heard the name. But if you were to mention some of their songs, like "Heard It in a Love Song" or "Fire on the Mountain," or then they start saying, "Oh, them. Oh, okay. Now I know who you're
They'll
talking
be
about."
downloading them on their iPods after they.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Great stuff. The Beat Daddies will be coming back also. So the Beat Daddies will be the warm-up band. Then we go into the Marshall Tucker Band. Of course, we have all the rib vendors there. Coming back this year also, sponsored by the Pepper Palace, will be our hot wing eating contest.
Oh, man.
And that is fantastic. I love that contest because it's not dependent on how many hot wings you eat.
Just if you can eat one.
Right, yeah, it's how hot you can eat.
Wow.
It starts off with round one with the least hot, and it keeps on progressing on up. There's 10 rounds eventually till everybody drops out. And there's just all these rules to it also, to where you can't get out of your seat, you can't drink anything. If you drink anything, then you're disqualified. You get out of your seat, you're disqualified. If you cuss, you're disqualified.
So it's this last person with smoke coming out of there.
Absolutely, yes. And it was amazing. It was last year. It was a great. People loved it.
That's great.
And the folks who participated. One of the winners was so excited. He called his friends back in Detroit on his cell phone while he was holding his award, going, "I just won out."
Well, that's neat of the Pepper Palace to do
Yes,
that.
it really is. We're real happy that they wanted to come back and do it again.
They're
They were
good
very
people.
excited last year.
Yep.
So we're very excited to have that event. So it's April 19th, starting at 4 p.m., goes till 9 p.m. And it's going to be downtown Gatlinburg. New location this year. We're looking forward to that. It's kind of across the street from the Hard Rock Cafe, around where the Harley Davidson store is, in the parking lot right through there. So new place to come out to, great new band, and the same old great room.
Nice venue, a lot of room there. Too.
Yes, so we're real excited about that.
Good deal.
Coming up also.
Marshall Tucker.
That's hard, yeah. And our 4th of July this year is going to be really amazing too. Once again, as usual, we'll be having our Midnight Parade. This year it's sponsored by Red Baron Pizza.
Oh, good.
The Red Baron Flight Squad is actually coming into the area during that time. They're going to be here up until about the day before the parade. And so at times during the afternoon, you may look up in the air and you'll see this squadron of 4 Stearman biplanes flying around, doing the smoke trails and those type of things.
Good.
So that's going to be part of it. Also on that day, as part of the bicentennial, we're going to be having a Civil War reenactment. Now, Gatlinburg was the site of some people call it a battle, some people call it a skirmish. But it was called the Battle of Berg Hill. It happened just right around traffic light number 3, actually. And so it's going to be kind of a reenactment of that actual battle. It won't be happening there, unfortunately. We're going to move it out to Mills Park, around in that area. And for on July 3rd and July 4th, they'll have what's called a living history encampment, where the reenactors will come. They'll set up camp as a Civil War troop would have.
Well, there's a lot of Civil War buffs out there.
Oh yeah,
too.
and it's growing too. People are getting into it. Last year, with how we got this connection was last year in our parade, we had a group in there, and it was the 37th Company E from Virginia.
Right.
And they said we want to do this whole thing, and so that's how this kind of got started for this year. So they do a living history encampment where people can come, walk through the camp, see how they are. They're going to be no electricity, no modern conveniences, nothing like that. And then on the 4th, they'll have the battle reenactment. And there's going to be a couple of cannon, and there's going to be the shots fired, and kind of how they study how these battles took place. So they reenact just as closely as they can to how the battle actually took place and how many people were killed and those type of things.
Wow.
So that's going to be and that's on July 4th,
Okay.
whenever that happens.
Okay.
And of course, on July 4th, and that evening, we have our fireworks over downtown. So, it's going to be a big July 4th this year.
What a great fireworks display, too.
Yes.
One of the best I've ever seen.
Yes, it is. We hear that from a lot of people.
It was
we're
excellent.
Very, very proud of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of things happening between now and July, and more things happening with the bicentennial. We have a lot of ongoing projects, more projects coming up in August, September, October for the rest of the year also. But so I wanted to save that for another show.
We'll do it another show. And people that live here and have moved here and are a part of Gatlinburg take a lot of pride in the bicentennial. Is just a great time to display and showcase what Gatlinburg is all about, and what it's been about, and what made it what it is today.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of the development that we see and take for granted was because of what Gatlinburg started. That the tourist market started in Gatlinburg and spread down as it went down. So a lot of the history that starts and a lot of the industry of that fuels our entire county. This is where it was ground zero for it. This is where it started.
And if people want to find out more about it or get more information, they can call Special Events Department.
It's special events, or also the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
They have more phone lines than we do, so that's why I say
Okay.
Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce.
yeah.
But if there's any questions they can't answer, they can call us here at the Special Events Office also. Chamber's 436-4178, or the Special Events Office 436-0505, which is my line.
And then Tunes and Tales is going to be in Gatlinburg again this
Oh,
year. I don't want
and
to talk
Tunes
too
and
much
Tales.
about it. We'll save that for
Sure,
another show.
I would. Let me talk about, once again, Tunes and Tales. One of our most successful projects last year was Tunes and Tales. And this year it is just what we're doing and more. We're adding more to it. We're getting ready to have our auditions for this year. Already people are calling in. Off of the success of last year, I can see that we're going to get a higher caliber of people this year. It's just going to progress even more. We're working on new plans for this year to make it more exciting during the evening, and also events to kick it off and to end it it will start on June the 8th on the streets, and it will go all the way this year through Labor Day, through September 3rd. So it's actually been extended this year.
Great.
And talking to many of the people downtown, the comments we got back from our visitors, we got so many positive comments on it. It's almost as if we could not do it again.
Now, is Zeno going to appear during
Zeno's
Tunes and
going to be
Tales?
more of a part of the project this year. Yes, he will have a much larger presence in it this year. He's going to be making appearances down through town, and he will be a part of Tunes and Tales this year.
What does he think of it?
So I was talking to Zeno just earlier today,
Right.
and he's very excited. I mean, he's whenever he goes into Gatlinburg and he's walking downtown or something, he loves it. I mean, he loves being the ambassador for Gatlinburg, and the people come up to him and they want to say hi to him. They want a bear hug. They want to shake his hand. They want pictures taken. And I mean, and now that bear is just a celebrity, and I think he likes it.
Well, you know him so well, you can sort of get into his head, right?
Yeah, just we're that close. We really are.
John, thanks.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Good, thanks.